Thanks for taking a few minutes to listen to the presentation on how TIPS and the STEAM space can work together to do something fundamentally unique. TIPS stands for Teams of Innovative Problem Solvers. We've been around for 6 years supporting teams in FIRST, from Junior FLL through FTC, and Divisions 1 and 2 of Odyssey of the Mind. If you don't know, FIRST is a robotics program where kids learn to build, program, and deploy robots. Odyssey of the Mind is a creativity program where kids write, produce, and perform their own skits with sets, costumes, props, songs, dances, and dialogue. We're a 501c3 nonprofit. Our teams have won local, state, regional, and national awards in both FIRST and Odyssey of the Mind, including the semifinalists in the Global Innovations Award in FIRST and the Renato Fusca overall creativity winner in Odyssey of the Mind. Our teams have promoted FIRST at the Champlain Valley Mini Maker Faire, the Aiken Maker Faire, and the Tech Jam. Our teams have also promoted FIRST in WCAX and Fox, and we were the recipient of a LEGO Foundation grant to start 12 Junior FLL teams at 3 schools by focusing on rural kids and girls in robotics. Imagine a space where kids from K to 12 can work side by side solving complex, real-world problems. Over those 12 years, kids would solve 36 problems with FIRST robotics in the fall, creativity in the winter through Odyssey of the Mind, and science in the spring with the Google Science Fair. This would make for year-round problem solving. Some of those solutions would warrant patents or copyrights and could lead to the formation of businesses that make the world a better place. In this space, younger kids would look to their older counterparts as role models and mentors, and the older kids would accept the mantle to nurture their younger teammates. This space would be used for training during summer and school recesses, when kids would work on a sequential, developmentally appropriate, and responsive curriculum that includes leadership, management, programming, design, fabrication, testing, presenting, collaborative writing, improvisation, and creativity. Each year, the kids would apply the curriculum to the problems they were solving as they convert training into experience, experience into knowledge, and knowledge into solutions. The space would support 2 teams of 6 kids at each age level, K to 2, 3 to 5, 6 to 8, and 9 through 12. Every effort will be made to support equal numbers of both boys and girls. Partitions of whiteboards are proposed to separate the space and double as a work surface. Within each space, each team of 6 kids would be subdivided into independent working groups of 2 or 3 in order to ensure that every participant gain experience in every element of the solution. Each working group would have their own table and chairs and all of the equipment they need to work independently on their task. For example, in FLL, each working group would have their own computer, Lego brick, sensors, motors, and Legos sufficient for them to work on their task, which might be an attachment to complete a mission. The kids will strive for personal improvement in this setting so that they will be ready for the moment inspiration strikes them and they transcend competition with their eureka moment that could lead to a patent, copyright, or launch a business. A presentation space is designed specifically with the purpose of sharing these ideas with the entire community. The space will contain durable, age-appropriate tools, beginning with hand tools, progressing to small power tools, and then ultimately culminating in large power tools. This will allow students to build prototypes, sets, props, costumes, and robots from materials like plastic, wood, PVC, copper, and aluminum. The space will also contain multiple 3D printers suitable for high detail small work and large-scale prototyping up to 18 inches on a side. FIRST fields will be installed at the beginning of each season and will allow teams the opportunity to train and develop on full-size fields. This also opens the potential for hosting scrimmages, conducting seminars with other teams, and running clinics for coaches and referees. These fields also make it possible for principals, superintendents, and other school officials to see the continuum of FIRST in a single location at a single time. This will no doubt inspire other communities to build similar spaces. Over time, I believe the space could be kept in continuous use by building associations of teams. For example, one set of connected teams might have practices Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, and another might go Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. This would double the level of participation and increase the impact of the program. It might be reasonable to expect that an association that develops inside the space might choose to partner with a school to move closer to home. In this way, associations might be incubated by the space. The space as designed reduces barriers to participation for families because they can make a single trip at a single time with all of their kids. It reduces obstacles for fabrication because training and tools are readily available. It promotes cultural transmission of problem solving because all the kids are working together year-round over the years. It also concentrates expert mentors to move across teams as needed. So if there was an improvisation coach working with a junior FLL team, they could easily work with an FLL team, then move over to help out an FTC team. The space costs come in at just over $20,000 for this proposal. About $10,000 of that is for furniture, including magnetic whiteboards, folding tables, folding chairs. These are specifically for the teams. The presentation space also needs chairs in addition to the chairs for the teams to welcome in the community and their families. A projector is necessary to make the screens large enough for an audience to see. There's also just under $8,000 in the proposal for durable equipment and tools, starting with hand tools and moving all the way up to the SawStop table saw, which prevents cutting kids by having a sensor on the blade so that it stops if there's contact. The robot fields are necessary in FLL and FTC, and they come in at just over $1,200. The total comes in at just over $21,000. To fully realize the A in STEAM, the art component, we need some performance art pieces of equipment as well. What I propose is a series of MIDI-based devices that would allow kids to compose songs and then mix them one instrument at a time. Likewise, there is a proposal to have a green room backing so the kids can film and replace the backdrop, an HD camera to support that, work lights. The heavy-duty sewing machine could be used for making costumes for OM, but also for sewing materials for the robot and fabric scissors and microphone, speaker, and amps as well. The total cost for the performing arts space would be in the ballpark of $5,800. Finally, the science component of the STEAM space relies heavily on citizen science-styled projects where students could be expected to use their robots to do data logging in ways that would enable them to help monitor within their communities and or do original research. For example, the Vernier EV3 adapter opens up all of these probes for students to use for soil monitoring, water monitoring, any number of physics experiments. There's also money in the proposal for game cameras so that students can monitor the movement of mammals through their community and equipment for astrophotography. Kids their age routinely discover new and interesting stars. So the total for all of this would be right around $3,600. I'm so grateful that you took some time to listen to this. If there are any questions or comments, feel free to contact me directly. My email is pkfitz@tipsvt.org. You can find out more about TIPS at tipsvt.org's website, and you can call me at home at 802-660-0625. And again, thanks so much for taking some time to listen.